Hello and welcome, my people who put cut-up zucchinis on their eyes just to try to make their eyes seem younger, but then they realized it was actually cucumbers and the zucchinis make your eyes look older. I'm sorry. Here we are on Chimps mode today. I want to show you guys a super ridiculously easy freaking strategy that anybody can pull off pretty much any time. It's all going to start off with Soda. On any beginner map and some intermediate maps, you can do a Soda start with ease. Advanced maps, it gets a little trickier, but you can sometimes get an advanced map, and even some expert maps you can do a Soda start, which is kind of crazy. But in which way, it allows us a lot of options. So, I've done a couple strategies where I show you guys my easiest, best strategy of the year, and usually it involves Adora. I like my Adora Ninja Alk combo. It's an amazing, amazing combo. It's an amazing strategy, but Ninja Kiwi has buffed a lot of towers here that I think we need to talk about. So the first one is going to be just a straight-up Dart Monkey. Do not underestimate a straight-up Dart Monkey with Soda here. It's actually really, really, really good. If you have any straight lines, which are very common on beginner and intermediate maps, you can make it even better. So we're going to go for quick crossbows, quick shots, and very quick shots, and this is going to be our main starter tower. Believe it or not, a Crossbow Master. Crossbow Master is super easy to get, extremely good in the early game, and even though he does, quote-unquote, what is said a lot, fall off in the late game, that does not mean that he is bad, because it allows you to get the big, beefy towers when you could not afford them if you went for a different tower. So this is the easy way to play the game, get a Soda, get a crossbow, and there's literally nothing that can kill you until lead balloons. So as we talked about earlier, straight-up domination. We've got camo detection as well with both of our towers at this point, so we don't have to worry about camos either. It's kind of nice, but we do have one weakness, which is those leads. So how do we figure that out? In my opinion, Boomerang is the answer in most situations. A quick Red Hot Rings is enough, but because we're planning on using this guy in a reasonable way for long-term gameplay, we're going to go Kylie, and we're going to go Moab Press here as well. And believe it or not, these three towers, if I get the Sharpshooter, can easily take them to Moab. No problem. Like, no problem. It will just automatically happen. Even without a Sharpshooter, you can probably take it down on most maps, and definitely on beginner maps. So, we're going to get the Moab Press. I personally am a bigger fan of the fast throwing, but realistically, it doesn't matter too much. You're not planning on popping tons of balloons with this guy late game, so this is what I like to do. And this is the combo. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to buy that Sharpshooter, and you guys can see this combo right here can probably survive until around 49, 50, maybe 51 before we actually end up running into any issues at all. And that means money, baby. Money. Alright, so realistically, our goal is to get a Crossbow Master. We want $23,000, so can we make that happen? And I think we can. We'll have to watch it a little bit carefully once we get to, like, the late 40s. As long as Soda kind of keeps up and doing her job here and actually popping a significant amount of balloons, I think we need to use her ability. I think we're going to be totally fine. But check this out. The reason why this is so awesome is Crossbow, or Sharpshooter, pops Moabs pretty well with a crit shot. It can do 50 damage per shot when you crit. And then obviously regular attacks are going to do a decent amount of damage as well. This guy slows down the Moab and specifically hits the Moab, so a normal problem balloon is just not an issue. In addition, Soda's just not bad against balloons at all, so any random like fast balloons coming in here or whatnot, they'll just kind of get deleted. But I didn't want to focus on the strategy all day today. Instead, I actually wanted to focus on something that's a little bit naughty. So this is where Controversial Chris is going to come out for a quick second here, okay? And Controversial Chris doesn't usually come out that much anymore because YouTube, honestly, doesn't like when you talk about this kind of stuff. Usually what they do is they make your videos less noticeable on YouTube. Coffee, winkety wink. So, anyways, I'm coming out of the woodwork anyways. I'm going to do it for you guys. If you guys want to be an absolute beautiful person, just press that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We just broke 800K, which is freaking insane. So thank you guys, obviously, for doing that for me. But, hit the like button for me if you want to be nice, and let's get controversial for a quick second. So, all I really want to talk about is the protests that are going on right now. So I'm not going to give you guys any news about any of that. I just want to talk about the idea of protesting and whether or not there is a right or wrong person in this situation. And, because no matter what you say, I'm going to step on somebody's toes. I'm sorry if you don't agree with me. That's totally fine. You can leave a comment down below, but this is just my personal opinion, okay? Definitely personal opinion. And I like to think that I'm fairly based, but here's the problem. We get our news from news organizations, and these news organizations oftentimes have a biased agenda in mind, and they want you to believe something. You very rarely find a news organization that just is like, sure, let's just give you the actual news without any bias whatsoever. even the more biased news organizations end up, or less biased news organizations, still end up being mildly biased. It's just a kind of a fact of life. So anyways, check it out. We got Crossbow Master going already, and this is just a beautiful freaking setup. Crossbow Master can survive until round 80 in like 95% of maps without any issues at all. So that means money. Again, freaking money. Beautiful amounts of money. But I don't want to stop here. I want to show you guys the actual strategy. So we're going to buy a village. I'm going to, guess right here is fine. And I do want to go for a full-on primary mentoring, and I do want to get the radar scanner, even though it doesn't really seem like it's going to be important for right now. For the rest of the game, knowing that I have cam detection and I have to worry about it is just a nice thing for me. Again, money is not really an issue at this point. I'm not, like, really trying to save up for something. So spending $2,000 for a safe feeling, being wrapped up in a giant cuddly blanket for the rest of the game is the way I want to feel. So this is what we're going to do. Full-on fourth here, radar scanner. And we're good for, again, a long, long time. So, first of all, I actually want to touch on just protesting in general. So, in the United States, and I am from the United States, and this is where the protests are mostly going on, I just want to throw it out there that I think that protesters generally protest wrong. Okay? This is probably a weird concept for a lot of people, but I believe that when protesters are protesting, the way you win is by making people like you as the protester and hate the people who are anti-protesters. So in a lot of situations, the way that people used to get what they wanted was by making cops be jerks to the protesters, the people being like, yeah, these protesters aren't doing anything wrong, and then be angry at the cops and or the people who are supporting the police and believing in the protesters. So that's usually how you win a protest, by getting the public behind you. And everybody's like, yeah, yeah, I noticed what you're trying to say, I believe what you're trying to say, and these oppressors over here are trying to oppress the what should be happening, or what should be known. And it's like, yes, that is how you win a protest. And I know you can't usually win a protest, because no matter what, sometimes it takes a long time, or a lot of effort, a lot of people, a lot of sometimes issues to make that happen, but that is generally how it works, right? So anyways, I think nowadays, a lot of times when people are protesting, they're protesting wrong. They do things that make people angry at the protesters. So just as an example, the best example I can give you is, if any protester out there, if you're trying to get yourself to be seen, the number one way you don't want to do it is by stopping traffic, okay? Because guess what you're going to do? You're going to make the average American, the average person trying to just drive home from work, or drive to the grocery store, or drive to wherever they need to get to, hate you. Hate you. Like, with a freaking passion. If I got stopped by a bunch of protesters for hours just sitting there, waiting in my car, and I can't go to the bathroom, I can't do anything, I'm going to freaking hate you. I'm going to hate you, and I'm going to hate whatever your cause is. Even if I believe that you were probably right, it's going to make me not like you. So even though you may get noticed, you're getting noticed in the completely wrong way. You're getting noticed in the way that I don't believe you, and I think that whatever you're trying to get your point across is wrong. So, that is the number one way you don't want to protest. Don't make people freaking hate you. So, when you get into more nuances of protesting, it gets kind of hard to do, because you got to somehow find a way to get noticed while also not making people angry at you, and also not letting the news spin whatever you're trying to say into something stupid. Because oftentimes what they'll do is they'll interview some random person who is part of the protest, and they'll say something stupid or something wrong or something off, and guess what the news has? Oh my god, look at these idiot protesters! You know, out of the 1,000 people here who are probably articulate and understand their point, they picked out the one stupid person who now we can point and make fun of and say, look, they don't even know what they're talking about! And then they get their point across. So that is, like, again, the news just kind of taking this idea and just squeezing it into a different, evil way, and then getting what they want, which is to say the protesters are stupid and their point doesn't make any sense. So, that's another way that just, like, spin on something, it just gets really freaking wonky. Anyways, when it comes to this protest in particular, the protest in the United States, where there's if you haven't heard about this, by the way, it's pretty viral. Basically, there's a lot of protesters that are pro I don't want to say pro-Gaza. And again, don't take my word for this because I am not, like, watching and reading about this all the time. I just have a base understanding of what's generally going on, I think, based on the news that I get. So, obviously, tricky to sift through all the garbage there, but generally, there's people that are anti-genocide in Gaza, right? And basically, the problem is that Israel is kind of making a genocide happen, though the problem is the Hamas, I think that's how you pronounce it, are basically, and again, I don't want to, like, twist words or say the wrong thing here, so, like, again, if I say anything wrong, please forgive me. I am not trying to be completely wrong about this, but they kind of started it. All right, they kind of attacked Israel, and then, of course, all the people there don't really 100% believe everything that the Hamas are trying to say, so it's like, it's just a disaster all around. And here's the big problem, is that there is no right and wrong. There is just two wrongs, and there is one that's maybe a lesser wrong than the other wrong, but it's, like, really tricky to decide who is the less wrong one here. And a lot of people don't understand the craziness of what goes into geopolitical relations and all that stuff, and of course I don't. But I would hope that the people in the government have hundreds, if not thousands of people who have expert-level information about this and can give the right answers on what we should be doing or who we should be supporting this to make the least amount of issues happen. And that's where it gets really, really tricky, because supporting a side is just like you're picking between poop sandwich and an even poopier sandwich, and nobody likes that, right? So, again, there is no right, there is no wrong, and I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people should understand here. You should not be picking a side necessarily. You should just be saying, wow, everybody is just kind of wrong here. But, again, if you're going to be a protester out there and you're going to try to believe in your cause and say your cause is the right cause, you got to get the public on your side and get the public to want to believe what you're doing and saying is the right thing, and they will help the government decide what to do. Because if everybody really 100% decided that Biden was doing all the wrong things, and you won't get elected for another thing if you are hated by everybody, that of course Biden's going to try to change what he's doing to align with the general opinion of the public in most situations, because that's what politicians are. They're supposed to be the elected leaders that are supposed to do what the people generally want you to do. Unfortunately, in this situation and this life right now in this government, it's not really happening that way anymore, but that's the way it's kind of supposed to work. Anyways, here we go. Round 80. We're still dominating. We have $55,000. What do we do at this point? Well, we have primary set up. So we can go for a lot of different primary monkeys, but I think the number one primary monkey that is just freaking godlike right now is got to be the bottom path of glues. We're going to go super glue. We're going to go glue blobs and splatter here. And then ideally, we have everybody in range here. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't end up causing any issues here. And then I also want to go for the primary expertise, because this is going to have us... I probably should have got this first, by the way, but whatever. It's going to allow everybody just to be stronger. So, and he's got that infinite range attack, and he's really good against ceramics, which is kind of our weakness, if you really had to look at it. Like, this is... Glue is only so good against ceramics, you kind of get overwhelmed a little bit. So getting rid of some of these super ceramics and everything is just nice to have on our team. Now we got 17 more rounds to just kind of do whatever we want here, but I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know if we are going to lose at any point until maybe around 100, or a really beefy DDT round, or maybe around 98. I don't think anything else is going to kill us. I think this is enough. And we're probably going to have like 40, 50 grand saved up at the end of the game. We can decide what we want to do with it, right? But this is just a good, solid setup. If you've never checked out primary expertise with the glue and the crossbow master, seems like such a weird combo, but it just ends up being good. Sada's also really nice because she's just a good starter hero. And because she's a good starter hero, she allows you to just build everything out nice and easily, make you extra cash right at the early part of the game here, and then you can even use her abilities to make even more pop and power happen. But overall, I'm feeling very, very good about this. So, yeah, like I said, I don't want to step on anybody's toes on this one. A lot of people are probably pretty adamant that their side is right in this situation, and I honestly believe that the big issue here is that there isn't a right and a wrong. There is two poopy situations, and there is no correct answer here. And that's kind of the problem with it all, is that there isn't a correct answer. You know, there's only just picking between a bad answer and a worse answer, and you can't make people happy in that situation, dude. You really, really can't. Now, the one thing that I have not said so far is I have not said that I feel so bad for anybody who's caught up in this. Like, sometimes I look at my life and I'm like, my life sucks sometimes, you know? I got this neurological condition, and you know, I just feel like I just live in this terrible situation sometimes, and a lot of other people have it worse than me, obviously, but then you look at these other people like, dang, dude, they're literally, like, starving to death, or getting shot and blown up, and it's like, that's not okay, dude. That's not okay. And anything we can do to make that not happen would be fan-frickin-tastic, in my opinion. But it's not just not happen, it's not happen for a long time. You could delay something for a week, you could delay something for a month maybe, you could delay something for a year, but what's actually going to be the actual solution long term? And that's what the actual problem is here. How do you make the most long-term solution for the least amount of people who have to suffer all the time, not just right now? And I don't know. I don't know. So what I'm going to say about that, I just want to throw out there that right now it's round 92, and we are still dominating at this point. Holy crap. So please, in the comments below, let me know if I'm an idiot. I am totally open to listening to different people's opinions and different people's thoughts, and anything you want to say about it, obviously. I will not delete any comments unless you were literally spamming or doing something ridiculous. Okay. And I will actually read them. I will actually read them, and I will get some people's opinions out there, and I hope that I didn't hurt anybody's feelings when talking about this stuff. Anyways, we've got $37,000 saved up at this point. So if we are going to be weak against the bad balloon, okay, what do we get? It's actually kind of a hard question to answer. The easy solution is a mobile eliminator. A mobile eliminator, next to primary expertise, gives you ridiculous frickin' range. Really good against just generally Moab class balloons and all this stuff. But it can be a little bit wonky on some maps to get him to be used properly, but the other answer here is another really good Moab popper, which would be the Moab Dom. If you do end up going for the Moab Dom, though, I kind of recommend just making sure you've got some extra balloon popping power if things really go south, like, pretty quickly. Anyways, check this out. We got round 95 here. We're going to just jump on these balloons, even though it looks pretty good at this point. A little extra damage couldn't hurt us, and bam, round 95 goes down. Another big balloon round 96 at this point. Looks pretty good, though, overall. We got Sawdust abilities again. I say we just jump, dude. Why the heck not? Let's get a little bit extra damage here. It's not much, but it's enough. We got some Zoma Gods here at the end of round 96, and based on what I'm seeing right now, I don't even think round 98 is going to be an issue. Round 99, though, is also probably going to end up being easy because we've got Super Glue, which is just dominant against DVTs at this point. All right, 96, getting taken down nice and easily. Primary expertise is enough ceramic pop power for us, which is nice. And we kind of put a nice straightish line here, which doesn't seem like it really matters that much, but positioning of a primary expertise actually does matter a reasonable amount. I already jump on these guys as well, because why not? But the nice thing about this combo is the Super Glue is going to stun things pretty much definitely. With the combination of a Moab Press, infinite stallage, dude. It's just such a good combo. All right, round 98, the big balloon round. If there was a round that I was worried about, it's got to be this one. Can we just straight dominate the entire time? Let's move her to strong for a quick second, and I'm going to move her back to first right after. I want to jump right on the Zoma Gods and all the big balloons. You can see the damage, though. It really does add up. Yeah, I mean, we're getting thousands of damage from Sada right now. I'd like to keep my second ability, though, if at all possible. Round 98, though. Oh, my God. It's actually still getting dominated pretty hard right now. It doesn't even look like it because it's getting further than the other balloons. But this is round 98, dude. This is how it should be. And we got a nice crossbow master cleanup here against all these super ceramics. All right, we're going to do another Sada jump on strong. Back to first for her. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to use Sada's ability. Kind of late. I should have used it earlier, to be honest. Now I don't have it around 99. But I do have $70,000 at this point, which is pretty nice. All right, DDT is getting absolutely slobber knocked. So here's the question. I could just try to see if I can pop the Bat Balloon with what I currently have, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough. What do we do here? We do 200 damage for one of those. Super Glue can't do, like, anything. It's really up to the Crossbow Master doing enough bad damage. I don't think he does enough either. What does he do per shot? 234 up to... he's going to do a couple thousand damage. All right, this is not going to be enough at all. Let's just see what happens. Why the heck not? Sora can do some extra damage. Crossmaster's not doing nothing. This guy's not doing nothing. Moab Press is not doing nothing. But now we have to pop DDTs possibly in the very back of the map with Super Glue probably not in range here. So I did not plan that accordingly. Okay. Oh, Bat Balloon! Oh, wait! We do a nice jump! We got Soda's second ability here. This could be done. Super Glue, can you reach? Oh my god, it's across the map there. That would be amazing if we could. Oh, we can land him! Oh, this actually could be done. We've got a lot of balloons coming out very, very soon here, though. We're going to have to do that jump. And Soda... Oh! No! All right, so it can be done, though. I want to do it with 72k left over. It takes some micro, though. I think we can manage, though. Let's try to make it happen. We're going to use our abilities a little bit better. And I believe in us. All right, we got a little better timing on this thing. Realistically, I think we just have to use Soda's ability a little bit later to try to pop more ceramics, ideally. But it's pretty much the exact same thing, even though we popped the bat earlier, because everything's just getting stunned by the Super Glue anyways. So I don't know if this is actually going to be any better necessarily. We're going to use it slightly later, use our jump, and we do take it down. Beautiful, with $75,000 left over. I mean, can you beat it, dude? And I know. Crossbow Master falls off. But does it? But does it? It's got 1 million pops as a $6,000 tower. That's insanity. Super Glue didn't do that much popping power, but it did do a lot of stunnage and slowdown and everything. Soda only 170k. It was really the Crossmaster that did most of it. But don't forget about this primary expertise. For another less than it's like $33,000 total or so, is not a bad amount of pops right there. 564, $250,000. Dang, dude. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, press that like button for me. Subscribe if you want. And, of course, have a super duper delicious day.